Seen this article here, I just decided I have to go into this dry and I just have to see what they're actually going to be talking about. Because on one hand, they're purporting to have some sort of science here. So let's see how much science is in it. And then it's also a bunch of woo-woo magical thinking. So what's going to be the balance of this? Okay, is it something that I can laugh at? Is it something that we can take seriously? What can we glean from it ultimately? And because I haven't done any previous viewing of this article, we're doing it live! Thing sucks. Got no words on it. I love that meltdown. The Bill O'Reilly meltdown before Inside Edition or whatever the hell he used to host before the Bill O'Reilly show, and his affinity for loofah sponges was exposed to the world. The thing makes me cry laughing every time that I watch it. It's kind of like the Cleveland bus driver helping somebody off of the bus. We'll just go ahead with that one. He just throws a shoryuken that would bring a tear to Ryu's eye. Anyways, 60 to 80% of disease is related to this. What is this? And your personality type shows it. Oh boy. Tell me, what's your sign? I'll tell you if you have brain cancer. Oh, this will be fun. We're exposed to more toxins. More and more toxins in our daily lives. All right. In addition to physical toxins, radiation, chemical toxins, plasticizers, pesticides, and benzene, okay, and biological toxins, and toxic people, viruses and bacteria. There are also type of toxin, namely emotional toxins. Emotional toxins can be even more harmful than physical or biochemical toxins because they are always within us. They are all around you. They're never really gone. How many references am I going to throw into this? Anyways, in fact, as early as 1964, good year. Good destructive year. A Harvard University study pointed out that 60 to 80% of patients seeking treatment had symptoms for physical illnesses stemming from stress or unhealthy emotions. Yeah. Maybe I'll run through that at one point or another. You guys here, you're the real ones. You're the real G's if you're watching this video and this type of content that I do here. All the fun stuff's on the main channel. We just I kind of get a little bit more in depth with this stuff, just reading the articles and not being as braggadocious when it comes to any of this stuff. But last summer, about this time last year, I ran back the Jordan Peterson 5 different dimensions test, and maybe we'll run through that at one point or another if anybody really cares, because I thought it was pretty interesting, and I'd have to go back and brush up on it, okay, but yeah, there's the 5 main personality types, and I know I scored, okay, in like the 99th or 100th percentile when it comes to negative emotions. Everybody else, okay, experiences negative emotions more than I do, okay? Like, I don't take any of this shit to heart. Normally don't like to swear, okay, but whatever. We're in a goofy mood. And these are the type of people who always have to consult their feelings, women, before they have to process anything else. So, these are the people that take constructive criticism to heart. They think that good-intentioned people aren't criticizing their ideas. They're attacking the person behind the ideas. And the people that manifest any sort of online comment as an actual violent attack on my being. That's the type of people we're going to be talking about here. Let's just see. The 4 personality types. Oh, there's only 4 of them. There's 4 of them, okay, are related to health and disease. The first Western medicine doctors to suggest a relationship between emotions and diseases are American cardiovascular doctors Meyer Friedman and Ray H. Rosenman. All right. They discovered that negative emotions can cause many common diseases, including hypertension, coronary heart disease, peptic ulcers, and cancer. Cool. Their findings have led to the development of a new field, psychosomatic medicine and medicine or a mind-body medicine over the past few decades. Psychologists have summarized these personality types into 4 categories. Cool. Type A personality. Let's see who fits in these categories. Prone to heart disease. Type A personalities are emotionally characterized with a strong desire to win, ambition, dominance, irritability, impatience, and hostility. All right, let's see what I could possibly find myself getting afflicted with. Cardiovascular diseases, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, musculoskeletal disease, skin diseases. Oh boy, I'm gonna die. And mental illnesses, anxiety, depression, sleep disorders. Well, sleep disorder, because anxiety and depression aren't real anymore. Did you see the study that's out there? I'll run through it at some point or another because it's fascinating. But sleep disorders, yeah, it's also I would characterize this is if I've been working for a long period throughout the day, okay, I can just immediately turn off like that. I might put something on, some white noise in the background, and then just fall to sleep immediately, and then wake up refreshed and raring to go as soon or just before my alarm wakes me up in the morning. 7 o'clock, I am ready to rock, ready to roll. But if I'm not tasked throughout the day, yeah, sleeping in the evening gets a little bit more difficult, okay? Well, I don't miss any exercise, okay, so I don't have to worry about that. But if my eating routine's a little bit off, if I just ease up on putting out quality content, if my mind is just a little bit too foggy, okay, because sometimes you might see a couple more jump cuts than you normally would, it's because sometimes my thinking's not as clear as it is, a little bit sluggish, okay, might not be properly hydrated or anything like that. Okay, things could be off a little bit. As long as that's not happening, I will sleep like a baby. And I'm very thankful because of that. It's mostly because I keep my supplementation on point. Talked about that quite a bit as well. And I would definitely encourage other people to also make sure that all of their vitamin and mineral levels are definitely on point when it comes to that. The rest of the stuff, in my opinion, is a little bit superfluous. But whatever. Okay, that's where I'd characterize myself. Let's see what the rest of this is. Type B personalities. Relaxed extrovert. Huh? Less likely to develop cardiovascular disease. All right. On the contrary, type B personalities are easygoing, relaxed, patient, and not easily stressed or anxious. I would also take some of that as well, because realistically, you meet me in regular life, I'm not going to get too excited about things. I'm more or less the guy this might seem a little bit off, okay? If we'd meet in a social situation, okay, I'd be the guy who would sit back. If we were in a group, two different approach methods, okay? If we're in a group or something like that, I'm going to be the guy at the table, okay, back to the wall, and I'll just be surveying the situation, seeing where I can fit, where I can intervene in a conversation directed accordingly, and that's just my style, okay? Or if we're just talking colloquially, you and I, we're just having a conversation, a back and forth, a dialogue, okay? It's mostly just going to be somewhere along this way, okay? And if I'm trying to pick you up, well, I'm not going to give you the sauce on that one, now will I? But yeah, I'm pretty easygoing when it comes to this stuff. Not a lot of stuff excites me at this point anymore. I might just take it as a laugh or something. Like if there's somebody exceptionally terrible driving on the road, I could just play up my own emotions in order to make myself laugh. I'm my best friend. So again, man, this is sounding super arrogant, but you know what? Hey, I'm giving you a little bit of insight when it comes to me. But if you find yourself in the category of easygoing, relaxed, patient, and not easily stressed or anxious, don't worry. You're not likely to develop cardiovascular disease, low pressure, or low blood pressure, and mental illness, not much. Okay, cool. So you're just basically passing through life like a passenger on a highway. Terrific, wonderful, fantastic, good for you, great for life. Type C personality, restrained and repressed individuals. Yes, you're too cowardly to express your emotions. Oh, I'm sorry. They are passive, submissive, repressed. Now, if this was a woman, it would be turning me on. Overly concerned about other people's opinion. No, this is literally a woman. And not good at expressing their own emotions. Yes, by lashing out irrationally and just immediately bursting into tears. Yeah, who could you possibly be referring to? You can get cancer and low immune function. That makes sense. Anxiety, depression, and stress. The European Journal of Personality mentioned that scientists tracked 1,341 subjects and analyzed that cause of death of those who passed over a 10-year period. It found that about 30% of those with the personality similar to type A died of heart disease. Cool. And 45% of those personalities similar to type C died of cancer. How adorable. You've got both branches of my family tree. On my parental lineage side, there's a strong heart disease death contingent. And then on the maternal side, basically everybody just dies of cancer. Dun-dun-dun. Your boy's dropping dead of a massive coronary after finding out that he has stage 4 brain cancer. Oh well, hopefully I'll be somebody on YouTube by then, so somebody will live stream react to my funeral. Anyways, a type D personality. Oh, this person's just busted. Distressed and unhappy, prone to chronic pain. Yes, because everything is an issue, okay? Why won't anybody take me seriously? Because you just continue to complain about everything. Anyways, They are emotionally characterized by fear of rejection. I didn't even know that. I was just making that joke off rip. Anyways, rejection, pain, loneliness, and sadness. Oh my lord, what a buzzkill. This type is prone to chronic pain, asthma. What? How about lose some weight, fat ass, and he probably wouldn't be asthmatic. And also cardiovascular disease. Oh, they're gonna die of a broken heart. It's so tragic. How on earth are emotions generated? This could be interesting. The expression of various emotional states requires cognitive processing in the brain. Anxiety, panic, and alexithymia, I think I used to work with her at a clothing store, are all related to emotional processing disorders. Only by understanding the mechanisms for emotional processing can we effectively control emotions. From a psychological point of view, from my point of view, the emotions are evil. The emotion has a process. Before emotions arise, each of us have our own unique life experience. My truth, not the truth, my truth. Concepts and beliefs that we're born into. Beliefs that you're born into, those are taught, but okay, there's internal wiring that's going to predispose men to one thing and women to another, but that's another topic for another time. And stemming from educational background, family situations, social and cultural environments, yes, nature versus nurture, and how they commingle in order to create a person. We all know that. Now, while external stimuli such as a job switch, family change, social unrest, speaking as a type A personality, I don't care about social unrest. I just think that they're all stupid. Anyways, leads to different misunderstandings. It will be a result of different modes reacting, including manifest a girl, of emotions and behavior. Again, cool. Emotions, material, structural basis. We hear somebody say something unpleasant, which is an external stimuli, and depending on the medium of the message, people will react differently, obviously. The brain analyzes it through the cerebral cortex and is transmitted through the emotional control center, the amygdala, which will result in mental, physical, and behavioral responses, including rapid heartbeat, sweaty palms, crying, frowning, hugging, hitting, etc. Yeah, you can easily explain that by also just delving into the Triune mind theory. I've broken this down a couple of different times, but again, it's instinct, the way that anybody responds to different external stimuli, okay? You have your immediate instincts, your reactions, okay? If somebody throws something at you, you dodge out of the way, okay? And then after that, you have emotions, and then you have reason, rationality, logic, okay? And the way that men and women process those things is very different, okay? If you've heard me break this down before, you already know where I'm going. Everybody, both sexes, experience reaction to that stimuli the same, okay? They process it through their instinct, their immediate movement, and because of men's proclivity for spatial awareness, they're going to most likely be able to move out of the way, catch it, swat it out of the air, anything like that. Women, a little bit slower reaction times, but hey, I just work here. I just report the facts. And then where it breaks down from there, that's where we get our changes. Women will internalize that external stimuli by processing things through their emotions, okay? And that's why you'll get, why did you throw that at me? And then break it through rationally, and it's like, oh, it was a water balloon and we're outside at a party. That's probably why. As for a man, you already know. Instinct, rationality, is like, oh, well, no, all of this makes sense. I got shot by a gun. It was a water gun, and we're at the same slip and slide that Sally's just crying about getting hit by the water balloon on. And then through the emotion, it's like, well, now it's your turn, mother. Anyways, it receives information from different sources such as sight, smell, sound, etc. Yes, no, exactly. It evokes past experiences and all that fun stuff. Let's get to the fun stuff. Duality of the spiritual and material nature of emotions. All right. So the way that type A folks experience, and these are 3D representations of brain scans, it looks like. Okay, so content, okay, that's the brain activity. Amusement in yellow, light green, yeah, that'd be light, dark green, whatever. For surprise, mother. Anyways, teal, is that teal? Not a lot of fear gets manifest. Anger, even less so. Sadness is really rear brain, okay? And then neutral activity is spread about the brain as you would expect, okay? But it's interesting the way that some of these manifest. That's interesting. The duality, spiritual and material nature of emotions, physiological structure basis on emotion production, and the physiological process are intertwined, inseparable, and integrated. like two parallel worlds in play at the same time, two sides of the same coin, but expressed with two different sets of perspective languages. In the picture below, you see a face or two heads of a girl. I see the girls, okay, ladies, but expressed with two different sets of perspective languages. In the picture below, do you see, oh, I ran that back, sorry. If you look at the black part, the two profiles of the faces, one the whole picture, blasey, blasey, blasey. How should we treat negative emotions? Well, it all depends on how you process them, right? As aforementioned, suppressing oneself and accumulating stress can cause harm to the body, and it manifests in different ways, obviously. The way to truly control emotions is not to passively suppress them, but to identify them and actively change them. Exactly. Great advice. Detecting negative emotions, notice that you're being bothered by negative emotions is the first step. Being curious, healthy handling of emotions, change our attention, rationality. Yeah, exactly. Okay. And like I stated before, thanks to the Triune mind theory, which is well researched and it's established fact, okay? So you can go ahead and try to dispute it however you want, obviously. Rationality, you walk through all of this stuff, okay? You might think that something is one thing and then you just process it and you have a moment to think about it yourself. And in actuality, it is in fact the other, okay? Just do that. Don't just lash out irrationally. That's stupid. Meditation helps our ability to control negative emotions. Yes, of course, by just taking a step back. We know this. We know this. Emory University has also conducted a study in which subjects were divided into two groups. One group mediated with ordinary positive thoughts, and the other mediated with mindfulness and compassion. After compassion, it was discovered that those who added compassion to meditation had significantly lower depression scores and increased positive activation of the amygdala, a tissue that generates and regulates emotion. The amygdala has a two-way effect on mood regulation. When a person suffers from depression, anxiety disorder, or post-traumatic stress disorder, the amygdala is impaired. However, when the person's emotional control rises to a certain level, the amygdala is activated in a positive way, allowing for further emotional control. Interesting, as you can see. Okay, so meditation and compassion way more effective in lowering the activation of the amygdala in the brain, which goes to help with negative thoughts and emotions. That will, if you properly kowtow them, or not kowtow to them, properly couch them. That's the word I was looking for. If you work through all of that stuff, it won't manifest in something that's more likely to kill you. How about that? So basically, long story short, process through your emotions, because balling them up, they will either explode unhealthily or they'll explode in a form of a tumor, and it will be a tumor. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.